Support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
You're not live.
I don't know. We're about to find out.
And allegiance to the same.
I got the live on that, but I don't know
the
Facebook.
orders of
We're actually live
the
on
President of the United
Facebook right
States
now.
and the orders of
I can look.
those officers
What is this void wrestling?
appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military
I'm not real
Justice.
sure what this is.
So help me God.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Give me a minute here. I'm actually jumbling around with a bunch of stuff, trying to get the new webcam going and get the Facebook Live going and get all this other stuff and trying to make sure everything's working. And we're not real sure if everything is or not. What's up, Ant? What's up, everybody? Tom? So tonight we've actually got a couple of guests. We've got, let's see, Dave Magnus, Michigan Commandant for the Marine Corps League, as well as some members of 92 for 22, which is a group of veterans that are walking 92 miles, averaging, I believe, 20-some miles a day. You know, talk a little bit more about it?
I think they did 27 miles the other day.
Okay.
I know they got a few more days going in. I had to talk to them a little bit, and seems like they got a good thing going. They're really putting in the work, putting the miles under their feet. I know they do a few small ones throughout the year, but their big one is the 92 miles. So, but they're supposed to get on. I know they do a lot of awareness, some fundraising.
Is that better?
But looking pretty good. What's our Facebook? Odin's Outcast, right?
Yep, Odin's Outcast. So if anybody also wants to catch the live feed, we're doing a stream right now at Outcast Actual on Instagram, and then we're also doing a live stream on Odin's Outcast Facebook page. So that way, trying to get a little bit more tech savvy with some of the social media, reaching out to people. We're still a bunch of knuckle draggers, so work with us a little bit. We'll get this stuff figured out.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, getting there. We thought we had a good marketing guy coming in, but he kind of got a little crazy on us. Came in and I don't know. I don't really know how to put that one. Paid a guy for doing some work and told him if he did a good job, we list him on the partners. With one of the companies that I'm a manager of, and I don't know what the guy was thinking, but he pretty much just like kind of kept the money and said, I'm not giving you guys anything until you make me a partner. It's just like, no, man, that it doesn't really work that way. So
they only got 11 dudes walking right now.
That's still more than, you know what, we tried to actually do that last year. We were planning the walk. It was 230 some odd miles from the Mackinac Bridge down to Lansing. Had a group of guys that were all in, and then I think it was probably like a week prior, or I think it was like within a month, like everybody started trickling out. State police was like, no, we don't want you coming through here, in this area. It's just like, man, so maybe that's something we can work with those guys, see if some of those guys got the cojones. I'll break a leg walking that far. Let's do it. Start off for the Memorial Day walk at the annual Mackinac Bridge walk for walking the bridge, and then just keep on trucking the Lance and give us a solid week of walking. Come on, you in, man?
I mean, I'll try. It might not go well. I'll try.
So, what's up, everybody? All right, so I guess wait a minute here. I guess something's going on here with with our podcast here. Thompson, they're saying it's kicking back and forth between.
You are? You're jumping all over the place.
Well, he's saying something about it's going all over the place right now for the actual streaming. So I'm not real sure what's going on. So I may have to start and restop some of this stuff. So if we lose any of you guys, he said we're back on again. I don't know. So again, this is kind of new to us, throwing a little bit much at us. But the good news is we do have the guys coming over tomorrow to set up the new studio in Livingston County. So they're actually coming over, check it out, start moving some of the equipment into the new clubhouse. So, yeah, right. So they're definitely a lot of things coming in the near future, and I'm really looking forward to it. Especially with just a lot of the breakthroughs. I mean, like this new, I think it's House Resolution 5385 for the Farm Bill Act of 2018. Loving it. Taking hemp off the Schedule 1 list and actually making it an ag product and oversight by the FDA and the Department of Agriculture, which everybody's known has been needed since day one.
Speaking of which, I got my Haas. Is that how he pronounces it?
Yes, it is.
My Haas hemp, and I'm a big fan. It's been about 4 days now, but there's some pretty distinct differences I've noticed so far. We're going to keep going with it, but big shout out to those guys.
Oh, and that's definitely, like we were talking earlier, before I came into the show, we were talking and like putting him in contact with some friends that do supplements and stuff. So they're going to start putting it in with some of the supplement capsules they do for like heart health and different stuff. That's all organic stuff. And then like with the K cups he's producing, there's a lot of stuff like he's hooking up, and that's one thing. Like anybody can reach out and sit there and say they know me, but unless you're reaching out to a cell phone and sitting there saying like, hey dude, freaking Odin gave me your number, or whatever, tell him whatever, then he'll sit there and be like, all right, what's going on? And like that same thing when we were talking, he was like, dude, anybody you've ever sent me has been a veteran or medically just needs help, and he was like, dude, I'm all about sending product out. Like even right now with, like he was sitting there saying he's moving 55-gallon drums of tincture. He's just like, dude, he goes, I can't make enough of this water-soluble full spectrum, and a lot of this stuff. I was like, dude, start sending it out here. So
I had to find a new way to take it, but it's awesome.
Have you tried the water-soluble, or are you doing the
whatever he sent me, it's got the plunger on it. I just been doing the dropper. It doesn't taste that great raw.
You know what does taste great? Root of beer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at you
is
go.
really good. Let's see. All right, so it looks like one of the guys is wanting to do a fishing competition and some other stuff. So let's see. Absolutely, man. We can get some guys out there to do some fishing with you. We actually just donated the boat that I actually bought for Odin's Outcast last year. We just moved it over to the clubhouse, and here in the next probably month, we're going to start working on that, getting that ready. What's up, Eric? Getting all that stuff ready for this year, for getting veterans out on the lake and getting them doing stuff. Yes, you heard me correct, Chronic. That is water soluble. Absolutely, brother. So that's the same thing we've been trying to tell a lot of guys, that when it comes to CBD and a lot of stuff, if you need it, you need anything like that, especially CBD, like we have a very good line, very good friend of mine, very good connection, very, very compassionate partner of mine, that he will not hesitate. If you're active duty, you have legitimate medical issues, you have anything going on like that, I mean, he definitely will get you taken care of. I mean, tinctures, water soluble, isolates, just whatever you're looking for, industrial hemp wise, he's got it for you. So, but here in about the next 5 minutes, we're going to be calling Michigan Marine Corps League State Commandant Dave Magnus. You guys have heard a lot of stuff, me talking to these guys and going out to a lot of their events. What's up, 92 from 22? He's on here right now. We're actually going to be chatting with these guys here in a little bit. I believe we're supposed to have them on the air at about 8 o'clock tonight, so that way we can kind of talk to them, get their story out there, see what's exactly going on, what their mission is, why they're doing this, and make sure that we can get more and more veterans, voices heard and get more and more people involved. So, but we're also, just before them, though, is actually going to be Dave Magnus from the Marine Corps League. He's actually the one who told me about these guys. And he was just like, hey, have you heard about these guys? Check them out. They're in the middle of doing a walk right now. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Call Bill and these guys and was like, hey, do what you can to reach out to these guys. Let's see what they're all about. Bill reached out to him, called me back, and he was like, hey, dude, these are some pretty solid cats. Let's go ahead and get them on, and let's chat with them for a little bit. And so looks like about to do a little joint work with 92 for 22, make sure that their message is heard loud and clear, see if they want to get involved in some of the stuff we're doing. I believe it's, let's see, we got the golf outing coming up June. And then, which we're still looking for sponsors, still looking for veterans, still looking for all kinds of stuff. And then, what was that? What's up, Mr. Gage? And then,
I did that. That's my
Yeah,
bad.
you did.
Big knee.
that's Jaffe over here smacking the table, knocking stuff around.
I'm a big guy. This is a little studio.
No, it's not. He's just a big guy. So, but talking about, he's going to be on here tonight talking about what the Marine Corps League's been up to, what they're doing, what the fraternity's all about, what they can do to get out there and help people, how other people can get out there and actually spread some of the message, spread some of the information and some of the things that they have to offer. It was actually Fallen Winter Soldier Funds put us in contact with a couple. Some circumstances like this, when we actually reached out to the Marine Corps League, they instantly got one of their detachments involved, and it's been absolutely amazing. So we want to make sure that we get them as much time as we possibly can, and make sure that everybody knows that with a lot of these organizations that are out there, the Marine Corps League is not one of them that is idly sitting by watching so many things unravel, waiting to see whose side they're going to be on or whatever the case may be. The Marine Corps League is actually being extremely proactive right now, getting into the social media, trying to reach younger guys, trying to see what they've got to do to help to start getting younger generations more involved with what the league actually does and what they're all about, which is basically the exact same thing the Marine Corps is. I mean, it's just now you're in the Civ Div. So it's pretty cool. So, but I'll let him talk a little bit more about it here in a few minutes when we give him a call. So,
Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund had a gala this weekend, and it was phenomenal. I think it blew the last one away. It was pretty crazy this time. Sitting at dinner, they had TVs all around, and it showed everybody's donations. And just sitting there at dinner, people were making $10,000 donations. It was insane.
can you still see me on that?
Yeah, it keeps getting choppy, running back and forth.
I'm just looking because my screen is completely black right now. Like, I can't see anything.
Yeah, I can still see you, but there's a huge delay.
I think I just liked my own screen, or I did something. I'm not real sure. Like, my screen is completely blacked out right now. So, but at least if people can see, so
I can see you.
Y'all can see me. I can't see you.
Oh.
No.
No, it's back. No, hold on. Wait. You got to wait for it to finish to make sure it's facing the right way.
So, all right. Well, we definitely don't want to be late calling freaking Michigan Commandant here, so I don't want to do push-ups for the rest of my life. But I do have to actually pull his phone number out. Ah, crap. All right. So I'm going to have to pause this for a minute. Sorry, guys. All right. Let's see. All right. So I believe he's over out of the Cadillac area, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll double check for sure where exactly he is. But we've been meeting so many of these guys, from all over the place, showing the support, showing everything that we've been doing. Even up in Genesee County and Flint, going toe to toe. Mentioned some to these guys, and they had so many different guys come out of the woodwork. And hey, Gage, definitely want to get with you, man. We need to talk a little bit more about your book, try to get you in here on the show. Definitely like what I was reading, man. So we definitely need to chat a little bit more and kind of see what we can do about that. All right, maybe even come over to the studio. I know that you're kind of busy, so whenever you get time. So let's go ahead and see if we can give Mr. Magnus a call. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We've got way too much technology.
There's a lot of shit hooked up in here right now. Damn it.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. I've been listening to you on the podcast. You want me to just go right into it?
Yeah, let's go right into it, brother. We got you on It's the Instagram Live, Facebook Live. Got you a few followers and listeners, and everybody's kind of wanting to know right now what you guys are doing, what you've been up to, and so forth.
Okay. Well, I took some notes, and if I start sounding too boring, let me know, and I can cut back on it. But my name is David Masunas. I'm currently the Department of Michigan Marine Corps League Commandant. I served in the Marine Corps from 1990 to 1994, and I live in Hart, Michigan, not Cadillac, Josh.
Sorry.
I grew up in Petwater, Hart area, Silver Lake area. But the Marine Corps League was founded in 1923 by Major General Commandant John A. Lejeune. Some people say Lejeune. Some people say Lejeune. It was congressionally chartered in 1937. The membership is open to all honorably discharged Marines, Marine Reservists, Fleet Marine Force Corpsmen, and Navy chaplains. We also have associate members, which associate members, they didn't have to serve in the Marine Corps or anything. They can just be any regular old Joe. We also have honorary members. In Michigan, we have 37 detachments and over 2,000 members statewide. We also have a ladies auxiliary. The president is Ann LeClaire, which you know Ann, right, Josh?
Yep, absolutely.
She's a great lady, and Ann is the one that actually hooked us up with you, and you came and spoke at one of our conventions and really opened our eyes to a lot of things that the younger veterans are looking for. Some of the programs that we have a VAVS program, which is a Veterans Affairs Volunteer Service Program. So you can go into a veterans hospital, clinic, or veterans home, and you volunteer your hours to help register people. Each year we donate over $8,000 to that program, which helps purchase calling cards, items, hygiene items for the veterans in the homes and stuff. We also have Christmas parties at the Grand Rapids Veterans Home in Grand Rapids, and we buy presents for the veterans there. We have a Christmas party for them. We get entertainment for them. I play Santa Claus, and like I like to tell people, it's not because I don't need a pillow that I play Santa Claus.
Right.
So another one of the programs we have is the Veteran Service Officer Program. So any veteran can use a Marine Corps League Veteran Service Officer to apply for benefits through the VA. If they're denied, then the Veteran Service Officer will help them file an appeal, and it goes to Washington, D.C., and they'll fight for their benefits in D.C. We donate $10,000 a year to that program. And other programs we have are a scholarship that we present. Last year we presented 30 scholarships of $500 each, which was $15,000. We have a Young Marines program, which teaches, it's kind of like a military style Boy Scouts, and they teach about the Marine Corps. If you graduate from the Young Marines program, if you join the Marine Corps, you're automatically promoted to the first rank. So you'd be a PFC coming out of boot camp instead of a private. So,
Nice.
Another program that we have within the Marine Corps League is the Devil Dogs, which is the Fun and Honor Society of the Marine Corps League. And that's where we all like to hang out and have fun. Everything is in dog terminology, like your hand is your paw. When you get fined, it's a bone. It's not $1. Each year, wherever the national convention is, last year it was Overland Park, Kansas, the Devil Dogs go to the Children's Hospital in the city that the national convention is being held. And last year we donated $50,000 to the Children's Hospital in Overland Park. So, that's a really good program that we have that we do there. Another program we have is the Eagle Scout program. Any Boy Scout reaching the rank of Eagle Scout, I fill out a certificate for them. It's called a Good Citizenship Award, and I send it to the Eagle Scout. We try to get somebody at his court of honor to present the certificate if I can get somebody there. Those are some of the major programs that we sponsor and do. Any questions on those from anybody?
No, not so far. A lot of them are saying that, well, I think these guys are just asking, some of the guys are asking for it to be a little bit louder, but we're having a little bit of issues with the technology in here right now. I don't think it's you. I think it's just some of the way the stuff's set up. We're kind of overloaded with technology right now. They got cameras going and live feeds on everything, and like never really done this much, so it's kind of freezing everything up and spread loading. So, but I mean, in the same thing, like with the way we met and a lot of the stuff that we're doing. I mean, seeing like how active you guys are getting in, today's post 9/11 veterans, and I guess kind of talk to, if you want to talk about some of the guys about what the fraternity's actually about, and some of the core values and how these guys get in touch with you, and go about some of the things like is it weekly meets or monthly meets, just some of the stuff like that. If it's say a guy like me just coming in and just wanting to reach out to you guys and just coming to hang out, like some of the things you guys actually offer for some of the younger guys.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, I put you on speakerphone. So, the Marine Corps League, the detachment set up their own meetings, which they usually meet once a month. Like Oceana Brett Woodavine, that's my detachment. We meet the third Thursday of each month at the Pentwater VFW Hall. And actually, I'd like to say something about our detachment. Brett Woodavine was a member of our detachment, and he was killed in Iraq. So to honor him, we named our detachment after his name, Oceana Brett Woodavine. So that's where we get the Brett Woodavine from. It's our way of making sure that he's never forgotten, and everybody will remember him. So, each detachment has their own meeting once a month. The department, we hold 2 conventions, one in the summer, which is in the first or second week of June. This year it's going to be in Bay City, the first weekend in June. And then we also have a midwinter conference, which is usually in January, which that's what you came to and you spoke at as our guest speaker.
Yep.
And that was in Frankenmuth, which is a great place to go visit. So, some of the things that, as a department commandant, that I'm trying to do, my goal as a department commandant is to establish a connection with groups like Odin's Outcasts and 92 for 22 that are being started by Iraqi and Afghanistan veterans, and to create a network that we all can use to assist veterans with needs. Something that I think the Marine Corps League has been missing is a connection with the younger veterans. And Josh, you came to our convention twice now, and you spoke and you told us flat out what the younger veterans are looking for. And you really opened our eyes to a lot. And that's why I want to make connections with groups like yours, and we can start a network in helping people. Like you said earlier that you had the veteran that needed help a week or two ago, and I sent out an email to our members, and we helped where we could. That's what we need to be doing as veterans. And it doesn't matter if you're a Marine, you're in the Army, you served in the Navy, it doesn't matter. We're all veterans. We served our country. That's what's important.
That's it.
And our motto is to leave no Marine or no man behind, or no woman. So that's what we need to stand up and do. And remember that even after we got out.
That's it. It's like everybody swore the same oath, and then it's like the minute the EAS, everybody's just like, well, I'm going to still honor my oath when it's convenient for me. It's like I'm not really going to do what what I swore that I would do. Looking out for my brothers to my left and right, and protecting the Constitution and keeping true to my core values. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm a civilian now. It's just like, no. Anybody with the right fortitude knows that once that's instilled in you, it remains with you for eternity. And
that's right.
There's a lot of guys that need to get out there and actually step up. I mean, we need more leaders. You know, we've got so many followers in the world today. We got people snorting condoms and eating freaking Tide Pods, for God's sake. We don't need followers. We need leaders. You know, and that's
right.
That's definitely, like everybody is always in there saying, you know, pay tribute to the guys before you. We absolutely are. And, you know, and that's what I've talked to you. You know, you and I have talked quite a bit. And, you know, I was just on the phone yesterday with the director of Genesee County's Veteran Affairs that, you know, with the uproar that we've been causing up there, you know, she's like, look, I definitely want to work with you guys. Like, what's accountability? Stop talking about stuff and actually getting out there and getting it done. You know, instead of you know, and creating boards of, you know, these veterans that, you know, have been 20 years out or whatever the case is, the values and visions change over, you know, over time. I mean, look at how much things have changed between like your era to my era to today's era. You know, you've got to keep evolving. If not, then, you know, like we talked about, you end up being that dark, dingy, dusty, you know, organization that starts slowly dwindling out. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's one thing since I've become a commandant over since I joined the Marine Corps League, is I noticed is that we cater to the older veterans. Obviously, all veterans are special, but we were focused on the veterans homes, the veterans clinics. But when you came and talked to us, it like I said, it really opened our eyes. And I hate to put you on the spot, but if anybody out there ever gets a chance to have Josh come and speak to you or your group, do it in a heartbeat, because he's a great speaker and he knows what he's saying.
Wait, which one are we talking about? Are we talking about me, or are we talking about the guy to my right?
No, you did that to me.
About Josh Barrett.
Well, and I don't see it, and I'm always questioning that, and I think it's just because it's just like that blackout moment of passion. You just get up there and just open mouth, insert foot, whatever comes flooding out, you know, and then at the end, I'm sitting there sweating, looking around, and people are clapping, and it's like, all right, cool, wait a minute, did I wet myself? Nope, I'm good, all right, cool.
Yeah, so since you brought up the sweating thing, he does get up there and he really starts sweating, so...
Well, yeah,
we had
like
to give him
500 degrees in there.
Napkin a couple different times. So
yeah, I think one of the guys ran up and even dabbed my forehead for me.
But if you want to find out more about the Department of Michigan Marine Corps League, you can go to www.michiganmarines.org, and then there's all kinds of information on there about our department, and you can find different detachments on there and everything you want to know about the league. So I guess that's all I have. We do have a fundraiser coming up on May 15th. It's in Bay City at 7 p.m. at the Historic State Theater. We have a singer. His name is Michael Carlucci, who's a Marine, actually. And he sings older music from the Rat Pack, which would be like Dean Martin and stuff, Vegas-type style music. So tickets are $10, and we're doing that to raise money to help support our program. So,
absolutely, okay. I know that we've got a event that we've actually got a lot of our members working this weekend, so which is pretty cool. We've got them parking and working security and stuff, but we'll definitely make sure that we try to get a group of them to come up there and show support. And also
next weekend.
Oh, that's next
15.
week. Oh, okay, that is 2
now.
weeks from now, so I'm solid. All right, and then with the Marine Rat Pack, dude, it was just reminded, or I was just reminded, I can't even speak. I was just reminded before we got in here that I have yet to book a band or a DJ for our wedding. So with this guy being a former Marine and doing all this stuff, I might want to get his number from you and kind of check. I might want to. She's actually sitting across from me right now, just like sitting there smiling. Out of the shot of all. Yeah, just sitting there smiling, looking at me like, "Oh yeah, I'm cutting you."
But like I said, that's all I got. I hope that I express what the league is about and what our goals are and what we want to do. Anybody ever has any questions, they can contact me. My phone number is 301-0950. You can text me, call me, whatever you want to do.
And he will reply, and he's quick on the spot. I mean, he will get back with you. So I definitely appreciate your time, Dave. I really do.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the time, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll see you later.
All right, yes, sir. You have a good evening.
You too, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, definitely a great guy. All those guys, like every one of them that Jennifer and I have met up there at the events. I mean, just absolutely amazing people. Like every one of them. I mean, it from the outside looking in. I mean, a lot of them, like even what the guys from 92 for 22 is even saying. A lot of times you walk into some of these places and they just kind of look at you like, giving you basically the stink eyes, and they're saying like, who are you? What are you doing in here and stuff like this? And then the way they reached out and we got to talking and started doing stuff back and forth, and like they're just such an amazing group of guys. And like he reaches out to me, I would probably say once a week. Like here lately, like he's the one who turned us on to the 92 for 22, which we're calling here in just a second, guys. And like he definitely, like anytime something's popping up, he shoots it over. Hey, what do you know about this? And same thing, like as soon as this veteran, we found out what was going on with him, we instantly, put him in contact. And I was actually on my way to Florida, and called him or texted him and gave him the phone number and all the information. He instantly got the detachment rolling. And I mean, that's the way a lot of these guys, and that's the way a lot of true organizations, supposed to operate. Not getting bogged down for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, waiting on a response, waiting for an answer, whatever the case is. So, but all right, let's go ahead and see if we can get our next guest on the phone real quick. Who are we calling? Who's this? I know it's 92 for 22, but what's his name?
Currently, we are calling Kristen Green.
Kristen Green. Is he out there part of the walk or what?
Yeah, he's one of the co-founders.
Let's see.
He? I'm not sure.
Well, actually, yeah. You might want to be careful with that. Yeah. Uh-oh. Are you there? Oh, man.
Oh, there he is.
You there?
You called the wrong person, Josh.
Oh, man, I called the same person. Sorry about that. All right.
All right.
All right, bye. Nope. What is... Wait, what the... 616 308.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this again. No, it's calling him again. I don't want to call him again. All right, I'm about to freak out on this thing. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm hitting the wrong button. Too much technology. We need somebody that's actually, hey, where's all you Air Force guys? Aren't you guys supposed to be good at this stuff?
We're struggling.
All right, there we go. I'm trying to see if I can find him on here. There we go. See if What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah. Trying to see if I can.
Oh, we're doing all right. Hold on, we got to turn the radio down here and get everything going right.
We struggle with it too.
Yeah, we got you, man.
Awesome, man. This is Bart.
How's it going, guys?
It's going, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you guys at? How far are you into your journey?
Well, actually, man, we finished up the walk on Sunday. We walked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Ended up in Ludington. We started in Marne.
All right.
Back where I'm from.
So, kind of threw me off a little bit.
2 days to recover.
Yeah, that's why I figured you guys were still out on the walk now. That's what. So I thought y'all were doing the last leg today, because as soon as we found out, it's like, hey, reach out to them. Let's see how many guys we can get out there with them.
We're done, man.
Well, hey, at least that wasn't a condom hanging from the top, guys.
I know, man. Snorting condoms and eating Tide Pods ain't our thing.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing out there and what you're hoping to achieve.
So, first and foremost, man, our main goal is to spread the awareness of PTSD and suicide amongst the veteran community. And second of all, all the money that we raise, we're trying to just rehab homes for veterans, as well as trying to get them to engage with us and come out hunting with us, come out shooting with us. Just take your mind off of your daily life that you're struggling with. Christian and I, after last year, after we walked, we didn't speak for another couple weeks, and then I just got a phone call. Hey man, come out to the range, and I guess that's kind of where we connected, and that's like it's like my brother right now, and that's what we're hoping to reach out to all these other veterans that are within our community across the state of Michigan. We had an individual that reached out to us just yesterday, and I'm kind of starting to get worried about it, because he's asking how to reach out to us, how to become part of us, and started getting no responses from him. But I hope Bry is listening, and
Said we're echoing real bad.
I hope Bry kind of reaches back out to us again,
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, and that's the same thing as talking to a lot of these guys that with some of these organizations we're working with right now is trying to remind them that there actually are a lot of guys out there that they want to come forward, they want to help, they need the help, but they don't really know where to go or how to go about doing it. And then when they do reach out, it's almost like they got their hand caught in a mousetrap. It's like they're wanting to steal the cheese and snatch your hand back real quick. And it's like they make the initial contact, like whether it's email, a text message, or phone call, and then as soon as you go to reach back out to them, it's like, dude, come on, just return my call, return my text. It's like, I'm not trying to harass you, man. Just believe me, you're not alone. Like, all of us are going through this crap. All of us needs the camaraderie. All of us needs that brotherhood. A lot of us feel lost. It's like, just reach out, hang in, let's get out there and get some stuff done.
Absolutely. I mean, there's many times that I'm not gonna lie, man. I was gone 3 sheets to the wind, just posting stupid stuff on Facebook, and then you regret it the night after. But the amount of response that you get that day, you're like, holy shit, man. Half the United States just responded to me on my Facebook that it got overloaded, and you kind of like dismiss it, but then you look back on it and you're like, people really do care, and then they do reach out and they mean a well thing. It's not just that it's not negligent,
Yeah, absolutely. And now, how many of you guys have, like, what all area are you guys out of, like, primarily? I mean, like, how many members? You have a clubhouse, anything set up there? I mean, tell us where you're standing on some of that, where you're at with some of that stuff.
We don't got a clubhouse. We don't got anything set in stone. Bart lives over here in Coopersville. I live in Conklin. We got another guy that's walking with us, so 3 other guys that have done this for 2 years now. We got Gary Tenhoff. We got David. I can't even say his last name. And we got Eric Graham. Them 2 are from over the east side, and then over by Detroit. And then Gary's over here down south a little bit in Hudsonville. But them 3 have walked with us the past 2 years. But right now we all just kind of communicate, meet at each other's houses every now and again. And,
okay.
Down the road, hopefully we'll have something different, But as for now, we're just kind of doing the best we can.
No, absolutely, man. It's the grassroots is what's needed. I mean, the same thing we did was just started off, and I just had to get my driveway redone because there's been so much traffic beating my gravel drive down that it was like a Baja track, trying to get back there. It's like, all right. And I had to go in and, like, talk to various guys, and, like, we ended up finally just leasing a building through one of the companies I'm a partner with. It was just like, dude, we've got to do something. Like, I'm getting married, my driveway, my house is getting trashed. Like, I can't do this anymore. It's like, so
that's where bodies hit the floor is going to be appropriate for the first dance when you start screwing up the driveway too much.
Right. So, I mean, same thing. I mean, I know Livingston County is a little bit of a haul from you guys, but I mean, like, anytime you guys want to come out, that way, nice little location set up. We got a bunch of different stuff we got going on in there. We're going to keep adding stuff to it, keep doing stuff. I mean, right now as it stands, it's pretty much the trusted brothers and members. We got a little combination like a realtor lock set up on the front of it with the key inside of it. contact one of the guys from the board or something, get the combo. They'll let you in there. We change it every couple of weeks, keep the riffraff out of it. So anytime like meetings, get-togethers, cookouts, barbecues, veterans like kids' birthday parties, stuff like that. I mean, it's actually a sweet location. It's in a prime spot. I mean, it's sitting on, I think, 1.6, 1.7 acres, nice huge yard, and it's nice hidden little gem. I mean, we got a sweet still on it, so you guys are more than welcome, to come up or come over anytime.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all we want, man. When you connect with us, man, it's for real. Christian and I have no apprehensions about giving our cell phones out on air or whatever. My phone's on 24/7 for you. If you want to give me a call me. I appreciated 100% of the phone calls that I received, that people miraculously found my phone number somehow through this social media or whatever. They found my phone number and doing welfare checks, and I completely appreciate that, and that's what we want to keep going. We're hypocritical. We preach don't drink, don't drive, but like I was telling everybody else, I've tasted that iron off my gun many a times, and those are the only phone calls that have kept me going. Not only but Christian as well. Just
I've been there.
The
it ain't fun.
Yep.
But that's our purpose in this whole thing, man. 92, we chose 92 just because that was the trail we chose the first time. But at the same time, now we look at it and we just kind of let's run with it, man. You don't see many people just decide to walk 92 miles, and then you see that group of 5 veterans, 6, 7, whatever, walking down the street, and you stop and talk to them. Oh, we're walking 92 miles to raise PTSD and suicide awareness. That's automatically going to make that person go, damn, that's a real situation, Then they're going to think back at, oh, hey, Johnny was a Marine. Let's reach out to Johnny and see how Johnny's doing. And we also want to let everybody know you're not alone. Bart said we're hypocrites. We are. We still fight our own demons. We still got our own battles. But at the end of the day, it just matters which wolf you want to feed.
It becomes easier to help other people.
You want to feed the good one or you want to feed the bad one? You can smile today or you can be a statistic. What do you want?
Exactly. And that's exactly it. And that's the biggest message that we've been trying to spread since day one. You're never alone. Every one of us has walked in those shoes. We've all done it. I mean, hearing having some of the guys come to the clubhouse, I almost became that statistic. I was that guy that was burying in a bottle, taking 13 prescribed medications, feeling numb, living in a nice big house, having a nice cushy job, but it still didn't sit there and stop me from doing a lot of the ignorant shit that I was doing. I mean, because it was just, it kept burying it down and suppressing it with alcohol, and then more pills and alcohol and more pills. And, before you know it, for me, I ended up in jail one too many times, too many assault charges, DUIs, whatever the case was, and then finally it was me snapping out point, and then let the hate and rage, instead of coming out in my actions, let it start pushing out in the beard, and then walked in and, resigned from my job.
I had a good one. I just cut her.
Yeah, sure you did there.
Hey! I got to get the old lady over here.
I told mine. I told her I was going to cut mine, and she did. She told me if I did, she was calling the wedding off.
She said I kept tickling her butt.
I'll tell you what, man. We're extremely politically incorrect, as you can tell, man.
We all are, bro.
And during the entire hike, man, hey, we deal with our own stuff in our own ways, but we mean good. We want all you to know that you are one of us, and we feel your pain. Like I was telling you, the little blister that I get here and there, or the Achilles tendon tearing here and there, that little pain that I feel is nothing that each one of my brothers and sisters feel mentally every single day, and I can deal with that. And because I know what they're going through. I felt it myself. And I hope everybody comes to that realization that, foremost, you're not there by yourself. Everything that you're feeling, somebody else is feeling out there, at the same time.
Man cannot remake himself, for he is both the marble and the sculptor.
Oh, definitely.
That's deep.
Definitely. Yeah. Come on. Well, obviously you weren't a Marine, were you?
So,
I was about saying
Yeah,
some
man,
philosophical
don't-
stuff like that, man. Like they didn't teach you how to write that with crayons.
Actually, I used the blue one.
Well, that's my favorite flavor.
And I really want to thank Dave for reaching out to you guys, to connecting us together. And I actually met Dave, and when Josh told me that Dave's going to be on the show, I was like, "Are you serious?" We just met Dave at the Hart Brewery,
Oh, really?
and he presented us all with his Marine Corps Legion coin and presented us with a certificate, and we're forever grateful for that.
Yeah,
It
awesome man.
It meant a lot to us, Dave. It
Thank
means a
you.
lot for you guys to actually connect with us, and hopefully together we can make some great things, you know?
Some changes. Let's do something.
Absolutely, and we'll make sure to send you guys an invite. We've got another one of our meetings on May 12th, so we'll make sure to get you guys over all the information so you can come in, meet some of the other guys, and see some of the things we've got going on also, so that way we can support you guys, work together, do whatever we got to do. I mean, rock and roll. I mean, same thing. Like, I know you guys are aware of the Mackinac Bridge Walk, the annual Mackinac Bridge Walk. I think
Back in September?
yeah, I think this is the 61st or 62nd or something. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. We carry a bunch of flags, doing raising awareness, going across the bridge. Same thing, September 11th, we go to the Capitol, to the 9/11 Memorial, and place a flag for every Michigan service member that's been killed since 9/11. You know, just stuff like that, just like you said, the same thing, bringing awareness, keeping stuff, you know, on the front of people's minds so they don't ever forget, you know, so that they realize that, you know, like a lot of people don't understand that since 9/11, there's been 216 veterans from Michigan that's been killed in action. You know, so, I mean, that's not even, I mean, there's no way to find the statistic of how many of them were actual statistics, not out of that 212 or 216, but how many additions to were statistics at home. You know, I guarantee that number will be drowned by that in that same time
Probably
frame.
3 times that many.
And same thing, and our big push right now is trying to find, like, we're working with various like institutions, lawyers, and a bunch of stuff, because our big push right now, and I know you guys have seen the same thing from that entire area out there, is the opioid epidemic that's just taking guys left and right. And we've been working with guys out of Colorado and a bunch of other places for finding clean alternatives, you know, whether that's strictly CBDs or is it like Kratom or whatever the case is, to whether it's something for anti-inflammatories or brain. We've been working with a nutrient company out of Plymouth for doing various like just herbal supplements to try to start weaning guys off a lot of the medications the VA has you on. I mean, just all kinds of different things that we're just trying to get out there, trying to get to vets, trying to sit there and say, hey, look, you know, if these 20 guys out of 22 can do this and it works for them, then why can't you be the 21st guy and then the 22nd guy and the 23rd guy to try this and make the change?
Yes, sir.
So,
Amen. We'll also be speaking up in October up in the UP. You know, masses speak volumes. So
absolutely.
anytime you guys want to join us on these speeches or whatever against suicide or helping veterans out, you're more than welcome to come and join us, and I'll keep you guys in touch with the details as it comes near.
Absolutely. I'll go make sure that all my personal contact information and a lot of these other guys get sent out to you. I know right now there's probably about roughly 50 of us right here in Michigan, scattered out, like everything's from Flint south. I mean, but just Flint down to like Adrian, Detroit, Lansing. I mean, just all over the place. And there's more and more guys reaching out from like Grand Rapids, and I think it's at least probably about 2 guys a week reaching out. You know, the same thing like Ellerson, they're saying the way you guys got together, and then, you know, a couple of weeks later you're at the range, and then a couple of weeks later you guys are like brothers, you know, kicking it back on the block again. You know, so, and that's what a lot of this stuff is the exact same way. A lot of these guys reach out, talk once or twice on the phone, you link up once or twice, and the next thing you know, you're together, you know, 2, 3, 4 days a week.
Yes, sir.
Well, I definitely appreciate your guys' time,
Just
guys.
when you find that camaraderie again, too, that helps.
Yep, that's it. That's definitely it. Well, I definitely appreciate it, guys, and we'll definitely help spread your guys' message and stuff. And then we're talking to some of the administrators on our Facebook to make sure that we start sharing your guys' stuff as soon as you guys post it. We're going to go ahead and start sharing it, pushing it out there, getting you guys some attention out there. If you guys are posting stuff on Instagram, let us know. We'll start pumping some of that stuff out there. There's a lot of good organizations out there, but there's also some bad ones. So definitely some of the places we've been vetting and going through, trying to verify them, trying to check to see what their contributions and donations are actually going towards and stuff. We've done a few here in Michigan, and we've started going, to other states. So we'll go ahead and get that list over to you guys and stuff, so that way you can ensure that if there's a veteran that you guys know that you need to help or make an impact, you know exactly what organization to call, and they can have it taken care of on a moment's notice. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, brothers. You guys have a good one. I'll
Thank
make
you.
damn sure to get you guys all the information.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
Let's see
All right.
here. I don't know how to. There we go. And I think my phone's going to be dying here before too long. But that's pretty cool, those guys, some of the stuff that they're doing up there. Definitely is. Reaching from there, all the way over to Hart. All the guys are actually reaching out all over the state, Army, Marines, everybody, trying to work together. And you can actually see, who's out there for the right reasons and who's not. Nobody's sitting there. When you're seeing organizations out there just trying to do what's right, then, that, and especially when you see it's a bunch of young guys that are taking their time, their money, their effort, and just getting out there, just trying to make people aware and remind people of the sacrifices and the things that everybody goes through on a daily basis. So, and then definitely, what's up? It looks like I got a bunch of 1-6 Devil Dogs, some guys I deployed with on here. I got Gage, got a few other folks on here. I love seeing some of this stuff. A lot of veterans getting involved in starting to spread the message and share the love, spread it out, make sure that everybody knows that you're never alone. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter what you're going through, what you think you've done that nobody else has done, or what you're feeling that nobody else is feeling. Yeah, I'll be the first one to tell it, get off your high horse. You're full of it, because there's millions of people out there that are going through the exact same thing that you're going through, that have done the exact same things you have done. All you've got to do is take down those walls and actually rely on those guys to your left and right. Those same guys on your left and right are the same guys that breached doors with you, the same guys that went through training with you, the same guys that did all kinds of things, but a lot of guys are just too proud to admit that, they have a weak point. And some of the things that, make a lot of people strive and become better is when they actually self-recognize and they see those things and they identify those things and they try to correct them. And if they can't correct them, they get other people involved, or they have other people hold them accountable so they can actually make the correct changes and do the right things to actually correct themselves. So, and right now, we've got a couple of guys that are hiccuping. It seems like are falling off the wagon. We've heard it all. We get cussed out saying that we're pieces of shit, that we don't do anything to help people, to people crying, saying we love you, thank you so much. So there's never two people that are the same, but at the same time, everybody knows what each other's going through. It really, especially when it comes to the veteran community, because we've all pretty much shared the same blood, sweat, and tears in the same sandboxes and the same BS, the same politics, the same bureaucracy, the same ROEs, the same, MOBs, DMOBs, the same, everything. So, and that's the biggest thing, is actually just, reaching out, talking to somebody. You're not wanting a handout. You're wanting a hand up. You're wanting somebody to sit there. You're not looking for a pat on the ass. You're not looking for, somebody to tell you, okay. You need somebody to assist you with solving a problem that you have, coming up with a solution, because you may be tail spinning so bad, wrapped up on that wrapped up on that problem. You're not focused on the solution. You're focused on the problem. So let some of the guys outside help you come up with a solution, because the same motto. Two is one, one is none. So why are you going to approach a problem or an issue or something by yourself? If you've got two minds are greater than one. So now you've got two guys thinking about a solution that's going to help you out, especially when you get guys that are thinking outside the box that sit there and say, okay, well, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they're going to tell you what you need to hear. And I think that's what a lot of people have the biggest issues with. Hey, appreciate it, guys. 92 from 42. Appreciate you guys being on here. So, and then, I mean, it definitely, somebody said it takes a man to admit it, but can't remake himself without suffering. That's true. Man or woman, doesn't really matter who it is. You've got to face it. You've got to deal with whatever hurdles are in front of you. Like, it's the same thing with me. Like, I didn't like going to a cognitive behavioral therapy. I didn't like sitting there having to look at myself in the mirror. I don't even know how many years it took for me to actually just sit there and stare at myself in the mirror and then start thinking about some of the real problems that are going on right now. And it took years to do it. And it does. It shows your vulnerabilities. It shows weakness. It shows all these other things. But on the same note, it shows so much more strength to actually face your problems than to run from them. I mean, there's no point in running from your problem, because you're just going to get tired and the problem's still going to be there. The only problem is you're going to be too tired to keep running from it, and then it's going to frustrate you and piss you off, and then you're going to lash out at everybody else. The same thing for the ladder of success. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue making excuses, or I don't know, or anything, whatever the case is, or are you going to sit there and say, you know what? Today's that day. Today's the day I want to face whatever the problem is. Like Bill. Bill's got a weak-ass pancreas. He faces it every day. There ain't nothing he can do about it, but he's not going to cry about it. He's just going to wake up and be like, damn you, pancreas, you're weak as shit. And he's going to get up and start his day. I mean, he's not going to sit there and just be like, damn, my pancreas is weak. All right, well, I'm going to lay here and mope about it all day. Sorry, I just have to throw those jabs in. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, it goes that way with everybody. I mean, the same thing. Like, nobody can cry like, hey, got holes in my brain. Okay, what are you going to do about it? I don't know. Like, okay, then suck it up, move forward. It's like,
there's shit to do about it.
There's nothing
Keep
you can
going.
do. I mean, that's like, look at some of these guys. Like what was it, Delicious J. Follow. Check out at Delicious J. Amputee lost his leg. A lot of the guys. That missing legs and and they don't care. They're still sitting.
Those
there.
guys usually have the best sense of humor about it ever.
Like, I've got a buddy of mine that he's above the knee. It's just sitting there, and like you. We freaked out a kid. I was telling her a story on that down in Florida, but that's not here nor there. But I mean, like, just seeing their sense of humor with a lot of this stuff, and it's just like, even at I can remember occasion where a guy sat there, and I mean, it's pretty shitty to look back on it now, but one of the occasions where one of the guys looked at me and like his arm was mangled, hamburger meat, and he just kind of looked and he was like, "Look, Mom, no hands." I'm just sitting there, it's like, how much morphine do y'all have this guy on? It's like, I think he's in shock. And like, or when we're down there in Florida and one of our buddies sits there and he's got a prosthetic leg above the knee and he hits the release on it in a suit, turns his leg around, starts scratching his ear on an elevator with a little 4-year-old girl that starts screaming bloody murder. It's just like he's acting like it's just seeing some of the humor behind it. And a lot of guys are pissed at the world and so angry. It's like, oh, nobody understands me. It's just like, no, dude, you don't understand yourself, bro. Like, everybody understands you, man. Like, we've figured things out. We're moving forward. We're trying to help you, but you're so angry and pissed off at yourself. You're reflecting it back and lashing out on everybody around you. You're isolating yourself because people are scared of you instead of focusing on yourself and facing your fears, which is you and your and yourself internally. You just want to attack people. I mean, I did it. I did it forever. Still do it. But, I mean, hey, it's part of everyday life. It's definitely a part of a veteran's life. So, we definitely appreciate all of our listeners and all of our viewers. We're going to have to close up shop here.
It's hot as shit in here.
It is very hot in here. So, and then we're possibly moving the studio before next week. We shall see. Dave, the owner over here, one of the owners, one of the partners from Podcast Detroit. Big shout out. Where's my bell? Oh, my bell.
It's over there. Jen,
hit the
bell.
bell.
Hit
right
the bell.
there. Hit the bell. Podcast Detroit.
Yeah.
There you go. So, big shout out to those guys. And then we should be having them over there tomorrow to check out the clubhouse, Odin's Oasis. And then from there, we shall see. So hopefully within the next week or two, we should have a studio set up for Odin's Outcast, in particular right there in Livingston County. So definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. And thanks again, everybody. You guys are wonderful, and y'all have a great night.